Coronavirus vaccine could be ready by this time next year, says EU Drugs Agency. A coronavirus vaccine could be ready for approval in a year's time in an optimistic scenario, the European Medicines Agency, EMA, has said. The head of vaccines for EMA, the agency which approves medicines for the European Union, said he had doubts over claims one could be available by September. Marco Cavaleri said, "For vaccines, since the development has to start from scratch, we might look from an optimistic side in a year from now, so beginning of 2021. More than 100 potential vaccines for COVID-19 are being worked on worldwide, with clinical trials underway for several of them. Scientists at the University of Oxford started a human trial for their possible vaccine last month. Results for this could be available by June, according to an expert." Professor Sir John Bell, Regius Professor of Medicine at Oxford University, said several hundred people have been vaccinated in the Oxford trial. "The challenge now is to be able to manufacture at scale once it is approved by the regulators," he said. As the world rushes to develop a vaccine, the EU, which includes some of the hardest hit countries in the world by the virus, fears it may not have sufficient supplies, especially if a vaccine were developed in the US or China. Mr. Cavaleri said the EMA, in communication with more than 30 developers, was doing all it could to speed up the approval process. However, he said he was skeptical one would be ready in 4 months' time. He ruled out the possibility of skipping the third phase of a vaccine trial in a bid to make things move quicker, which he said would be needed to be sure a vaccine is safe and effective. A spokesperson for the World Health Organization, WHO, warned earlier this week coronaviruses are very tricky viruses which are difficult to produce vaccines against. The global health body, which is leading a global initiative to develop safe and effective vaccines, tests, and treatments for COVID-19, said in April this year a coronavirus vaccine would take at least 12 months. The EMA is also looking at 115 different therapeutics, or treatments, for the coronavirus, which has killed nearly 300,000 people globally. Mr. Cavaleri said some of those therapeutics could be approved in Europe as early as this summer, but he did not specify which. More than 4.35 million people have tested positive for coronavirus in the world as of Thursday, with recorded cases in 220 countries and territories. Thanks all for your watching. Hope you like our contents, and don't forget subscribe and share with your friends. And keeping in touch with us for all new and hot news.